4 Years Strong, Analysis Paralysis is the brand new album by the post-hardcore rock band 4 Years Strong. I've been looking forward to this one, even though I've not really listened to much of the band prior to this release, just a few songs here and there from previous records, but I've been looking forward to this, especially with how good some of the singles have been. So let's dive straight into this one. We go straight into Aftermath, Afterthought, the only track I've even talked about on this channel through my top 5 tracks of the week. This one was a really good one, but it wasn't my favourite track of the week. It's still a banger though. If you're going to be introduced to a song on this record, or like the first track for a brand new experience, this is probably the perfect one. It summarises the catchiness, the punchiness, and some of the hecticness that this album dives into. The calmness of the calm whisper of the line Aftermath to go into the afterthought scream was quite a nice transition to just some heavy breakdown-esque riffs, which also accompanies the harmonic riffs you hear throughout the track. It's a really catchy, really fun song, one of my favourite singles we had, and probably one of my favourite tracks on the record, I can say for sure. Moving on to Bad Habit, this one is another punchy, fun, catchy song. Great single. I enjoyed this when it came out, and I enjoy it now. It's so good. It kind of feels like a song I can imagine Bill Murray doing. It definitely has that feel as something like Better Hell does. It's interesting. I don't know, especially with the Bad Habit line. It just hits in that way, and it feels like Bill Murray. It's good. I quite like this one a lot. Maybe it's me, goes for something more boppy, and it's not necessarily my cup of tea for sure, but it did stand out to me, and it's still a really fun track. I enjoy this one start to finish. It's just kind of in for this nice groovy bop that just works. I love the chorus on this one. Pretty fun song. Uncooked does the same thing as Bad Habit, minus making me remind me of Bill Murray. It's just a song that's got some punches, got a bit of aggression, but the chorus, again, another really good one that really sells for some intricate moments that just excel. I think we're going really good, considering we have a 4 for 4 streak so far of pretty good songs. And then Out of Touch is another good one I quite like. I really like the line talking about I'm a ghost that just won't even float through the air. It always stood out to me straight away when I've been reviewing, or not reviewing, listening and analysing the Analysis Paralysis album. Out of Touch is great. I love this one as well. It's another fun, amazing song, and does a pretty good job as well. Daddy of Mine was one of the first singles, and I'm not quite as big on it. It's got a bit of aggression as well, but to me it's not really as catchy. The riffs don't really hit as well as the first 5 do, but it still got its moments, and while it might be one of the weaker tracks, I still enjoy this one quite a bit. Dead End Friend, I'd probably say is one of the weak tracks though. I feel like this didn't really pull me in at all. I just kind of felt, compared to what we had, we were hitting gold with this album. You're kind of getting taken away a little bit with Daddy of Mine, and especially Dead End Friend. Dead End Friend's fine, but I feel like I'm kind of glad I didn't listen to this one until the album, because the other singles afterwards have really pulled me in and my interest, whereas this probably wouldn't have quite done it. Sucks to Fall in Love, or STFIL, probably should have said that the other way around, is a pretty fun track. I love this one. It definitely goes more into, heartbreak, obviously. I mean, a lot of post-hardcore bands do, and it's quite obvious from the Sucks to Fall in Love, but I think it's got a really strong presence. It's got some nice unclean moments here and there, and it really gets the power across. It's a very powerful track, and I quite enjoy this one. Roller Coaster is quite a roller coaster of a track, to be honest. You're just kind of going in for this kind of standard 4 Year Strong track, and then you get this kind of little ad breaks sort of breakup to then go into some really heavy breakdown riffs, which is really fun and creative. Quite a nice change of pace. Quite like Roller Coaster. Pretty good track. Better Get Better, another really fun track. Towards the end, it definitely picks up with these tracks. And I just forgot I didn't mention Paranoia. Let's quickly mention Paranoia. It is pretty good. There you go. And going back to Better Get Better, yeah, this one's great as well. I don't know how I forgot Paranoia. This one's pretty good, but Better Get Better is another banger. I love this one. I think the Better Get Better line, it's in the song title. This alone is probably one of my favourite moments, especially the way it's basically pronounced. It's cool. The riffs as well pulled me in. And then finally, How Do I Let You Go? I'm not the biggest fan of slower songs, and I feel like this one has a very small build-up, but I don't think it's quite a satisfying conclusion to the record, but it makes sense what they do with it, and I'm not too opposed to it. It's decently good, I'd say. I think it's a consistent good album, even though it's got some ups and downs here and there. This album just hits in a lot of ways I wasn't expecting it to be. Some of the stuff's definitely better than others, and I wouldn't say the best is some of the best stuff I've heard all year, but there is definitely a lot of really good stuff on this album nonetheless, and I think it pulled me in to say that this is probably one of the better albums consistently, and just in structure. It's quite fun, probably one of the most fun records we had in a while. I'm going to put this one as a 4 out of 5, close to 4.5, but I think there's just some songs that didn't quite immerse me into this full ride. It could have been better, but it's still really good for what it is. It's a fun album and I recommend it. Hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next video.